a quick round of Am I the Jerk? And what we do is we throw it up on social media every now and then, and we say, what is a situation where you kind of thought, man, am I the total jerk in this, or not so much? And what we'll do is we'll roundtable it quick here on the Playhouse and vote whether you're a jerk or not a jerk. And you can certainly text to 35270 quickly if you'd like to. If you think these people are total jerks. We got 3 cases today. Amy K, are you feeling ready to rock?
I am feeling ready. I'm going to tally. We'll see how many we get today.
All right, case 1 of 3. Am I the jerk? I recently put in my 2 weeks notice, and it worked. And I've definitely been coasting. There's been 1 week left now, 1 week gone so far, and just like last week, I plan on doing literally nothing. Sometimes I close and lock my door and just watch Netflix. Am I the jerk?
I would say not a jerk, because why hasn't your work brought this to their attention and asked you to do some final interviews or help train the person who's going to take over for you?
So you think they're not a jerk because they're just being not supervised enough?
Kind of. I mean, it's their last 2 weeks. What are they really going to do? It's not like they're going to do some huge project or something like that. I don't think it's fair for your other coworkers if they're having to get more work. But at the same time, it's not like your boss said, hey, I really need you to do this, and then you're just slacking off. So I say not a jerk.
I do think there's probably a bit of is it like senioritis?
Yeah.
That comes in when you're right on the verge of something like that. And it's probably to be expected that you're not going to be going a million miles an hour here in that final stretch. That being said, I mean, at least try to be useful. Don't just sit around for 8 hours a day. Try to be useful. I don't think you're a jerk, but you do sound a little lazy.
Yeah, lazy for sure. And I would say if you're making more work for other people, then yeah, you're a jerk.
Yeah, definitely. Am I the jerk case? 2 of 3 today. My roommate is kind of filthy, and I regret ever moving in there. The place is in her name, and I never signed anything. I'm not on the lease. I think I'm going to move out when she's at work one day and block her phone number. We weren't that good of friends anyway, but I can't handle another 7 months remaining on her lease where we were going to be living together. Am I the jerk?
100%.
Yeah.
Just have that conversation. You're going to move out while she's at work. You know what you're doing is bad, and that's why you're waiting for her not to be there. So then she is going to be stuck with all those bills. That's not fair, and that's awesome that she didn't make you put your name on the list or the lease. You are kind of getting out of that, because then at the end, when you guys are ready to move out, I think if it really is filthy and you're going to have damage or anything, she's probably going to get stuck with that. But first, I think you have a conversation. I really cannot live here. It's getting to the point where I'm ready to move out. Can you please work on cleaning? Then maybe if she doesn't, you could think about other options.
Yeah, I think if you do what you're planning on doing, that is definitely a jerk move. I don't think there's any doubt about that. That is a jerk move 100%, if that's what you do. You got to have that talk.
And you know you're a jerk. That's why you're doing it while she's at work, so she can't say anything.
When she's not around?
Yeah.
And finally, am I the jerk case? 3 of 3 today. I'm not particularly a very religious person, so I was insanely confused when my sister asked me to be my niece's godmother. I explained that would probably be ridiculous, seeing as it's been probably 23 years since I've stepped foot in a church, and I told her to pick somebody who it would mean something to in fairness to your family. I thought it was very kind, and she did seem to understand, but now my parents are acting like I've committed murder. Was I a jerk?
I think kind of. The fact that you said give it to someone who would actually care. That's your niece. And you should care. But I get not being religious. My sister, who did not get my niece baptized, so really there's no point.
Right.
She made her best friend the godmother, and I'm super upset about it.
Okay, you're mad.
I am so mad. And my sister said, well, it really doesn't count because she's not baptized, and you're already her aunt. That's better than the godmother. It makes me so mad. So I am a little biased when it comes to this.
Sure.
But I still think how you phrased it by saying, give it to somebody who would actually care about it. That's your niece. You should care.
I'm a little split myself. I can't say, do you see where you're coming from? I think that it is not a jerk move to refuse something like that if you understand that you cannot fulfill the roles that you're saying you would be fulfilling. I understand that. I do think you probably, I wonder if it could have been worded more delicately, because I think kind of what Amy's saying is that a lot of it was the presentation, and I can see that. The rejecting of the offer, not a jerk. But I think that maybe if you just said, like, listen, are you sure you even want to be asking me because, and then explained your, like, standing with that stuff, maybe that would have been better.
Well, really, what do you have to do as a godparent? You go to their baptism, you go to their confirmation, that's about it. And you give them Christmas gifts.
Sure, but I also think that, like, if something were to, God forbid, happen to her sister, she is then responsible not for, like, taking in the kid necessarily, but, like, to help them with their religious journey.
I don't think
basically.
that's real, though. I think if something would happen, obviously, like you say, it's probably not going to go to that person.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go to whoever. I don't know if they have a will or whatever. That person then is going to be in charge of their upbringing. They're not going to be like, okay, it's Sunday. Better go call your godmother and bring you to Sunday school.
So this concept, you think, is just nobody actually does it anyway, is your theory?
No, it's just a cool nickname, and I want it.
What I did like about it, and you were kind of dancing on this too, so I have a lot of aunts and uncles, but the ones that are my godparents, boy, they always send a little bit more money than everybody else. And so that I definitely appreciate. So you got to send a little bit more in the Christmas and birthday cards and stuff.
Because you're not just an aunt or uncle.
There is
now
that.
You're the godparent.